Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of What's Going On in the Shed. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome everyone. I'd like to just give a big shout out to all my regular supporters and subscribers on YouTube, and also the new subscribers who've decided to follow on this crazy journey and see what I get up to in the shed here. And the numbers are steadily growing up, which is almost surprising to see, but thank you anyway. So tonight's episode is not so much about the steamroller, but fixing that one there we go, that little compressor sitting on the bench there, that's for the neighbour. I'm just doing a little fix up. I'll give you a rundown on what actually happened in a few minutes, and that can stay there, don't worry about that. G'day everyone, Fatimus, g'day. So I'll give a quick shout out to all our fine folks in the chat here, and then we'll rock and roll with it. Over on Facebook, we got a couple of people watching. G'day there. But some bloke called Mark Shed Talk. Yeah, that's me. Peter, g'day. Bill, g'day. Bill's going to be back. He had to restart. Stylesley, he's in the house. G'day, mate. Going down the list here, and we've got, and that's it. There, a few people short. There's maybe a few not listening, or sorry, a few haven't jumped into the chat. Thanks, Pete. The audio is great. That's excellent. I studied up a bit on the audio on the Rode Wireless Go 2 that I use. So I played around with some settings there, downloaded the app, which helped make it easy to fine-tune a few things. So that's great to hear. Now, we are, for those of you who are new, I'm in the process, or me as in us, I should say, my wife and I, and I'll turn that down. My wife and I are working on the restoration of a 1926 Fowler steamroller, which I have featured, which is featured in the start, in the rundown, and it's also in the pulled apart stages over here to my left. And there's bits there on the mill, there's bits over there, there's bits everywhere. Sometimes a lot happens, sometimes very little happens. All depends on what's going on around the house, plus work and other things get in the way. We can't all just work on our hobbies all the time. But anyway, we'll jump over to the lathe. I'll bring up another camera here and switch him on, and we'll go full screen on that. This is part of the air compressor. Actually, let's get some bits, and I'll show you exactly. I think I'm missing a bit. Okay, so what you're looking at there in the lathe is a brand new non-return valve which screws into the tank of the compressor. The old one decided to give up its working life. G'day, Mr. G-Man, the Funk and Hungry. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. Paul, I don't think we need that sort of thing, mate. Yeah, that might be for another stream or some other content that I'm not involved with. But anyway, back to me, because it's all about me. So this is the delivery pipe off the compressor. This one comes off the head. We'll have a closer look at that in a second. And this goes down to the non-return valve, which, to put it politely, went poopy in its trousers, to say the least. It disintegrated. The metal it's made out of is a very cheap metal, and yeah, it just failed in service. So the neighbour asked if I could help him out, which it's been a little bit of a challenge. You guys, you distract me too much. You really do. and then you play up when I walk away. Oh, I don't mind, Paul, I don't mind. It's good to have a laugh sometimes. So anyway, what we've done, yeah, Bill, you're right. It's had the Richard. So we've gone and brought not a noisy car, but this is a brass male-to-male air fitting. So it's 3/8 on one end, 3/8 BSP, and it's a quarter BSP on the other end. So the bigger size, the 3/8, screws into here. Shout out to Mum and Dad, they're watching. Emma, that's all right, Emma, you were here earlier today picking up your shirts. Nightbot's in the house. So we're just going to tap a hole in the non-return valve. So we'll jump over to the lathe here, and then we'll go to the compressor. So I've already done a little bit of work, and I'll just change some gears. So I'm all set up to tap the hole in the lathe here. Go to the slowest setting. And this is the tap. It's in the keyless chuck. So we're going to go in a little bit, and then I'll check it with that fitting, see how far it goes in. I might just finish it off by hand. And right, we'll just hit the go. We'll hit the jog button here, and we've got plenty of clearance. Would help if it's in gear. Righto, that's starting to spin, so I'm going to undo the keyless chuck. Take that out the way. I'll get the carriage out the way, and I'll just grab a spanner and take that out. Or I'll grab, that's probably going to be too big. This will be all right. Right, tap wrench. Perfect. I'll get me big buffing out the way. I'll just grab the air line. And, right, one airline coming up. And I think we might need to go a bit more with that. Yes, Peter, finish it off by hand. Giggle. Right, I want that to go in a bit more. And this end is tapered as well, which is on pipe thread fittings like this. They're usually tapered, or one is parallel, the other end is tapered. That's to get a good seal on it so it doesn't leak. Right, I'll open that, and that disengages the power to the lathe, so it can't be started. Now, for those of you who've never done anything like this before, this is what we call a tap. This is a threading tap. This material here is just roughly carbon steel, but they're also made in high-speed steel or tool steel. And this material is generally harder than what you're cutting a thread into. For instance, this is brass or bronze or something like that. So it can easily form a thread by cutting it. And we'll screw that in there, and that's just nice, very nice. So, and as you can see, the taper helps seal itself in there, but we'll put a bit of thread sealant on there anyway, because it's just good practice to do that. And what we'll do now is just we'll just run the lathe. I'll take a burr off. Let's go there with the lathe file. Now, normally with this, you'd have a pipe with a flared fitting and a nut to go over here. Now, I've taken this nut off and gone for this option instead of threading inside because of the difference in size, the age of the machine and so on. And for what it's going to be doing, you know, the next door neighbour just uses it to just pump up tyres and maybe just blow it out. It's not really going to be working hard. And there we go. And it'll still deliver a good amount of air, because obviously it's like airlines and water hoses are very similar things. The smaller you make them, the more the flow gets restricted. The bigger they are, the easier and the more volume you can get through. Right, so that's there, that's tapped nicely. And I'll just play catch up in the chat here. Dan Shed, g'day. Why is a lathe file, or what is a lathe file? A lathe file generally is a file that only cuts in one direction. If you have a look at the, let's have a look here. Righto. And it's usually stamped on there. But in this case, it's not, but I have seen it. So generally speaking, the bit that does the work on the file, it's only in one direction. It's not cut in two directions. So it's only cut across that way at a roughly 40 degree angle, 45 degree angle. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Pete. Different cutting angle. Oh, not that one. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, that's the lathe file has a different cutting angle, or usually in one direction only. Like, let's see if we can get it close up here. No. The camera goes crazy. Just won't do it. Yeah. Right. So that's not really. Well, it can be a bastard file, Emma, but this one I've got's pretty fine. So it could be a second, usually a second cut or something like that. That's a topic or a video for another day. So we'll go. We're going to go over here now. Right. Oh, that's the motor looking down. That's looking down from the on top of the compressor. Not much to see there. It's just got a plastic cover. And where's the other camera? No, we don't want that one. Oh, that's right. I'm going to have to flip things around here, so just bear with me. So we'll just leave it on that one for the moment. I'll just go back. Hey, Roger. G'day, mate. How are you? Roger the Pirate's in the house. Oops, shouldn't have done that. Sorry if that was a bit loud, folks. Hang on, let's go around that way. Right. Now, I'll get this roughly there. We'll switch over. There we go. Right, now, I'll zoom out a bit because that's probably a bit close actually. It's not too bad. Right. Okay, so this pipe here, in fact, I will go further out. Zoink. Righto. Hopefully that's looking all right on screen. Yeah. Right, so this is a bit of aluminium tube. When you compress air, it gets very hot and you get a lot of moisture. So the aluminium tube is to help disperse the heat. Looks like there was, yeah, okay. Now there was a tiny little gasket around there which is disintegrated. And I'll put that on the wire buff and clean it up. And while we're on the wire buff, we will talk about, there we go. So we're over here on the linear wire buff, and I'll just I'll take that off, and what I'll do is I'll just put a bit of sealant on there to seal it off, so it still sits in there nicely, because there is a bit of a gap there. And I've probably got a copper washer. But anyway, linishing belts, polishing belts, let's have a quick chat about them. Now, recently I brought some linishing belts. At the moment, what's on there is a polishing belt. So these are your standard linishing belts, coarse, fine. For us guys in our home setup here, they work fine. They cover a multitude of sins. They can linish anything you like. But these polishing cloths are something fairly new to me. This one here, now it's not inside out. They're all color coded. This is, I think, a medium. The one that's on there is a coarse. This one's a fine. This one's a medium, I believe. And they're pretty aggressive. For instance, this is a piece of bronze, LG2 bronze bar stock that you can pick up at bearing service centres, places like that. And this is the sort of, oh, great. I knew that had happened. Hang on, folks. Right, of course. I should have known that. Anyway, we're back to normal programming. But hey, what's a little diversion? So it'll turn something like that. Hopefully, it's not too blurry. To something like this. It polishes and it takes. It really does take stuff off, and even on steel. Here's a bit of steel bar that I polished up a while ago. And I'll give you another example. So it's gone a little bit rusty from sitting there, but we'll give it a quick run. So to give you an idea, hopefully let's see this. They do a tremendous amount of work. You can see that that was quite rusty, and it cleaned it up in no time flat, and it's even put a nice sort of a polish on it. I haven't tried the other ones yet, but I would imagine you should be able to get a finer finish. Naturally, if it's rusty, it's going to give away dust, which you probably would have seen. So if you're going to be doing a lot of it, you probably need some breathing protection and, of course, eye protection. So I might just drop that off, and they come off easy. They seem to last, quite a bit. There's plenty of life in them. And I'll put the finer one on and see what sort of result we get with buffing that. Righto. So this is one I polished up the other week, and I just did this end here. I don't know if that's in focus or not. It's probably out of focus. I'll just check the chat and just play catch up. Thanks, Bill. I'll try using the underside. Yeah, it almost does look like that you could swap them around. Obviously, they're not designed that, because that blue tape there, that's the join. But I see what you're saying, Bill. But this hasn't been machined. It's just as it is. Yeah, that's blurry. That's crap. Hang on. I'll turn the autofocus on. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit. That's not going to work. Hang on. And that's not going to. Single point. Yeah. No. Oh, there we go. That's what I want. No, that's too close. Obviously not. All right. It's not going to do what I'm going to do. I'll just explain it to you anyway. I'm sorry about this, folks. But this is what I polished the other week, just with the other one, with the coarse one that came up, and then gave it a linish. This piece here has been machined, and I gave it a linish with the other one that's on there now, which came up pretty well. And they'll also take burrs off too. So if you're doing sheet metal or something like that, these are great. And or if you've got if you happen to got a whistle that's fairly dirty, or a piece of brass that could be turned into a whistle, but you don't need another project for. Yeah, this thing's going crazy. Hang on. I'll be better off getting the phone up, I think. And we'll just give this a quick. Right. Actually, let's go back over and we'll put it on the other camera, because that's bloody terrible from there. Yeah, I got to do something about that. Anyway, all right, we're back over here. And so So here's a bit of brass tube I've got that potentially could be a whistle if anybody wanted another project. Not that you need another project. And you can see it's quite dirty, and this is the end I polished up with the finer belt, which has really done a good job. And it's not the only way to polish something. As we've seen before, you can do it with Brasso, or you can get some baking soda and vinegar and flour and make up your own mix and do it that way and get all this scale off and polish it up in just a few minutes. But that just goes to show you what's available for your linisher. I see what you mean, Bill. The underside of the machine. Yeah, I'll just go back over and just explain what Bill's. So I'll just jump back over here and explain what Bill's meaning by that comment. And that's bloody blurry. I really need to sort this out. Hopefully that's a bit better. So what Bill's saying is, instead of using the top or the wheel can bounce around here, is using the underside of the machine, like so. It won't be as lumpy because your wheel could be lumpy. There could be some lumps up here. So that's one thing to try if you're going to do something like this. So thanks, Bill, for that tip. Anyone can go and try that and put a comment in the chat below to show us your results. Right, let's go back here and here. So anyway, right, let's get that off. Okay, that's off. So right, we've got that done, and we'll jump back over to the compressor after that little side show, after I have a drink. And oh, that's good. Right. Right, back to the compressor. Yeah, Pete, it only works if you have a linisher. If you don't have a linisher, then it's not going to work. Or get a radius master. Yeah, I tell you what, that would be nice. That would be nice. I could easily make one. Anyway, getting back to this. Now, where was I? Where's my glasses? There they are. Here's ones I prepared earlier. Right. So that'll go onto there. Now, there's probably no use putting an O-ring on there because an O-ring, well, I could put an O-ring on there. It'll last a long time, but a bit of silicone or even a bit of thread sealant like I've got here, which will do the job. That's what we got to do. We've got to take apart the one-way valve because I took the seat out. I took the seat and the spring out to make sure that no crap got in there. And that little seat and spring just sits in there like so. And it's just enough to stop the air going back into the cylinder head. Right, now let's wrong way around. So that'll go into there like so. And right, that's probably not going to go all the way around. So I'm going to have to sit it there. The thread sealant's going to have to go there. Now we got a bit of extra room, so we've got to move things around a bit, unfortunately, because we now got to fit that onto there. And then that onto there. Right, so we've solved the problem, but we've created a problem at the same time. So what we might have to do is this. We might have to relocate our pipe to accommodate our new arrangement, which now this is only a bit of aluminium tube, so it's easy enough just to rearrange. But my thinking is that's going to go onto there. Like so. And I'll just bend this tube up around there. It'll come on the outside instead of the inside. Now that's not going to affect the performance or anything like that. Then the only thing left to do is to trim the end off this little bit of pipe and put it back into here. So this one here sends the signal, sends the air pressure up into the switch, which is set to a certain pressure, and that tells the motor to turn off when it gets up to pressure. So that's what we're going to have to do with, and the aluminium pipe bends easily enough. So I can just manipulate it around, still have this bend in it. But I think I'm going to have to work on that a bit. I won't be able to do it all tonight, because bending tube, if you don't do it right, you can get yourself into trouble and create kinks and cause more problems. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Tomorrow. It's not worth trying to do it now on camera and not getting it right. It's only going to defeat the purpose, and I want to make sure I get this right for the neighbour. Even though it does bend nice and easily, I've got a pipe bender around here. There's different ways you can fill it up with sand or something like that, so it helps you form the bend the other way. Or I could easily, yeah, no, that's not going to work. I'll have to do it like this. It'll have to go on the outside, like so. And instead of this cover here just sits over like that, and you get the idea. And then I'll just run this tube up into here after I redo the bend. And that way it'll be right. So we're going to leave that tonight, but that's what we're going to do. And then I can make a part 2 of the first video I've done, where this will all be sorted out. A little bit more involved than, as with most things, a little bit more involved than what I actually thought. But you know what thought does. Sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you get it wrong. Right, I'll go back on here and answer a few questions. Now, Bill, why aren't they vinyl pipes? Right, this is a fairly old compressor. In fact, I've got one of those in this shed. I started with one of those. They're a great little compressor, and over the years they've changed their design from time to time. My other compressor that's in the corner behind the fan, which you can see there, does have some poly pipe on it. That's the other thing I could do, is just run a poly pipe around. It probably wouldn't hurt, you know. So there's still, I'll try and work it out with the aluminium pipe, seeing it's there. There's no point throwing it away. Yeah, you're right, Pete. Yeah, we've got we've got lots of offcuts at work too. I should have a look at work and see what we got, but I'll bit of food for thought sometimes goes a long way. Yeah, you're right, Pete. You're right. I'll have a bit more think about that and rearrange it. I'll get that pipe right. A little bit of heat on the aluminium pipe too will help get it right. But I think for tonight we'll leave it there. It's starting to get what is it now? It's 8:10 here. My time now. If you're in the southern states, it's 8:10, and I've got neighbours here, so I've got to sort of be a bit careful at what I do. But we'll talk about the roller now. What's happening with that? Well, work's happening. Not as fast as probably what... All right, Pete. No worries, mate. I missed the conversation. I thought you were talking about vinyl pipe. All right. Yeah, you're right, Pete. Be aware of work hardening. Yes, because that can happen. Look, I'll work something out. I've got a bit of copper pipe here, or I could get a bit of copper pipe. It's not going to be a hard fix. It's just spending a bit of time on it and getting it sorted out. But I've got one bit sorted out, so I'll work on the next bit and we'll go from there. The roller, the steam roller. Righto. So things are happening on the steam roller. Bit slow at the moment. I'm at a stage now where there's a lot of bigger bits to work on, and those bigger bits take a longer time. This week, hopefully, I've organised to, well, I have organised. I'm going to have the tender sandblasted, so we'll see how bad that is. It'll, I know it's pretty thin in some places. In the previous videos, we've cut sections out already, which are really thin. It's pretty interesting, really. It's over to my left there. You know, some parts they've made out of thicker material, like 1/4 inch plate on the sides, but the ends they've gone like 16th or about 16th material or something like that. You know, it's pretty sort of thin considering. So, and that's the stuff that's rotted away, obviously, because there's been no sort of treatment in the tinder over time. I should really change. Yeah, I'll flick that around so that way I'm not looking over to my left and you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oops, as long as I don't pull the power out. Right, we'll change camera angles here. I'll just get that on screen so we can see what we're looking at. There we go. There's the tinder. And you can see where we've chopped it out down the bottom. Check on the autofocus. Let that have its day. There's enough light there to you guys get the idea. You can see where I've already chopped bits out of it down the bottom to help us get out any stuff. I have previously worked on it at different stages, and the old ash pan is sitting in the top there. So hopefully tomorrow it's going out to get sandblasted, and I might even have it back this week. Getting it sandblasted will just give me a better idea of what I've got to do, of how much I've got to pull out. I'm pretty sure I already know what's got to come out. So it's going to be food for thought, and you know, work out a game plan as to what's got to be done and how I'm going to do it and who's going to do it and how much I'm going to do and all that sort of stuff. So there is plenty other bits to work on. One thing I will show you as part of our little talk tonight is going away from the roller. because I've got some other bits over on the shelf over on the far left of the shed that I need to sort out and go through, and there's a few bits that need a bit of work, like the steering rod. That's one thing I can show you. I'll bring up the main camera here. Now the steering rod, or the bit, the steering arm, whatever you want to call it, well, steering wheel rod, or something like that, whatever. It's probably got a proper name, but anyway. Right. This is it here. So it's not a staff to go into Middle Earth or anything like that. So the problem we've got with this is right here, is we've got a bit of necking. It's not much, but it's annoying. So that'll be built up with weld and remachined. It's in pretty good shape, considering for its age. And however, there's a fair bit going on down here. Now, when I say a fair bit, you might be able to see what's going on. The actual fit of the worm on the shaft is fine, but it's the actual key. You can see the play over the years. It's just been flogged out. So there's two options there. Well, number one, we need a new key. Number two, we need to either weld up that keyway and remachine it, or I turn it around 90 degrees and just cut another one. So there's a couple of choices there. Funk and Hungry direction thingy, that's it. So this is another job to work on, which I haven't touched since I've taken it apart. There's a few other little things that I've taken apart that I haven't worked on. Most of the time when I was taking it apart, I did any repairs that were needed and then put them on the shelf so they were ready to go. I've gotten away from that a little bit, mainly because just the way things have happened. Thanks for the likes, guys. Yeah, it's actually showing 14 watching now. So, look, people come and go. I don't mind. It's just all part of the nature of the beast. That some people find your content interesting, others don't. So, I do this once a week, the live stream, and then I try and follow it up with some sort of video during the week, long form, short form, whatever goes. Like most of us, I do have a full-time job, so I'm not putting a lot of time into the YouTube channel. But look, I appreciate everyone's support that's helped me out, either physically or not physically, just being here, being part of the show. Tools for the workshop. This is a good subject that everyone, if you have a little workshop like this, a little machine shop, there's a bunch of tools that you can make yourself. And this is one particular little hammer. Hammer is a good thing that you can make out of leftover material. I made this. In fact, I put a date on it. I made this back in 2013 when I was working. Where can we see that? No, we can't. Anyway, 2013, so 9 years ago. No, longer than that. 2013, 2024. Yeah, 9 years ago. There you go. Yeah. No, 11. Come on. My math's not good. Seriously. I literally need a calculator to do that. So something like this can be made out of scrap material. All it's going to cost you is your time. And if you haven't got access to this sort of stuff, so that's aluminium, copper, and just steel. You can find drawings for these online to give you an idea, or you can just make it up as you go. Bill says 42. That'd be 11. Thanks, Fatimus. AJ, sorry, mate. A knock-o-meter. Hey, look, I'm under the pump here, so sometimes I'm going to get things wrong. These little things like this are fantastic, and you can scale these to either as small as you like or as big as you like. Let's find another one. I did have another one handy here before. Where is it? Right, toolbox. Toolbox here. Right, it's not the exact example, but I want to give you an idea. Here we go. there's a bigger one compared to this one. Am I mirrored video? No, not mirrored. Anyway, yeah. So these can be made. This is obviously a brought one. You can buy. You know, tools these days are bloody cheap. Even the stuff that's made out of China is bloody good stuff. If you're going to buy tools, Taiwanese got you know, they make some great tools. But sometimes it's a little bit of pleasure and satisfaction making something like this on a machine like that, you know, which involves a bit of thread turning, bit of thread turning. You can, you know, make a steel handle. That's hex. You can make a steel handle. You can put a bit of knurl on there. It's really up to you what you can do, and you can make them as fancy or as plain as you like. I mean, I've seen hammers made out of bits of pipe welded to a block of steel. That's how easy a hammer is, you know, so it's whatever you want to do. And you can get really creative. One thing I do recommend is if you're going to make a tool, stamp a date on it. I just stamped the year. I didn't stamp the month or anything like that, but stamp a date on it. And that way, if you live long enough, you can look back and go, oh, I remember when I made this, you know. So I'm just going to grab a bit of water here. And Pete says, I once made a sledgehammer out of 150 mil square steel billet and a bit of water pipe. Needed a bigger... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right, AJ. Yeah, it can be rewarding, you know. And that sort of thing you've got for life. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Bill, I saw that that was brought up in a television series, Stargate SG-1. You know, at the end of the sort of season there, they're all sitting around and what's his name says it's about the fishing, you know, fishing. You know. And now tools, oh man, haven't made tools since high school. Yeah, and a tool, yeah. Oh yeah, every battle dwarf needs a big hammer. Yeah, and a tool doesn't just have to be a hammer. A tool is something that makes your job easier. It could be a spanner. It could be a bit of wire just bent in a certain way. That can be a tool. It's yeah, you're right. It's not about the funkin', it's about the hungry. That's right. And we're all hungry or thirsty in this case. So yeah, look, I've been blabbering on here and bumbling around this shed for about 55 minutes now. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come on for a bit, you can and have a quick chat. But other than that, I'll probably wrap it up fairly soon. You don't have to come on. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, there's the link. If anybody wants to come and have a chat, say hello, ask a question, or yeah, other than that, I think I'll leave it at that for tonight, and I'll do a follow-up video of finishing up that pipe work on the air compressor because of the changes we've made. Rock and roller. So I hope everyone's week is going pretty good so far. Tuesday, well, hump day tomorrow, halfway there, or halfway somewhere. And we keep on battling on. Dan promised. Yeah, well, Peter, I heard about your adventures. Bill told me about your adventures, or some of them anyway. D-Rock, g'day, mate. How are you? Thanks for being here. Now, it's morning for D-Rock. D-Rock's over in the United States with, say, Joanne. I think, D-Rock, you're in the US, mate. Hope you are. Hope I got that right. Yeah, no worries, G. I appreciate you being here, mate. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Check out Funk and Hungry. He does food reviews. Go check him out. It's easy to find. First Floor Audio. Here he is. G'day, Lee. How are you, mate? D-Rock, yep, he's in the US. Yeah, thanks, guys, for being here. I've been going for almost an hour now. So, New York. Oh, cool, man. Oh, in the heart of New York or somewhere a bit further out? Just watching a TV series. G'day, Steve. How are you? It hasn't always been this clean, mate. Yeah. Steamroller's over on my left, Steve. I haven't got one of the cameras set up, or the bits of it anyway. Yeah, so we've got an international audience here. We've got D-Rock over in New York. We've got First Floor Audio over in the UK. We've got our friends Bill down in Tasmania, Funk and Hungry down in Adelaide, Stylesy, he's in Adelaide too. Peter's up north in Cairns. Can't forget that. Just think of Cairns. Cairns as in beer drinking Cairns. So I appreciate everyone being here. Yeah, it's later for us, early for some. But yeah, I appreciate you all being here. Upstate New York, cool. Yeah, just watching that series called Manifest, and just getting into the fourth season now, and a lot of it was filmed around New York. So that's cool, D-Rock. I really appreciate you being here, and hope you have a wonderful day there over in the good old US of A. I must admit, it has been quite a while since I've been there. Summer of '94, I didn't actually go to New York, but plenty of other places. And seeing we've got a guest come in, we'll say hello to Emma and welcome her in. And hang on. Let me get this right. Oh, you're the star of the show.
I don't know about that.
No, hang on.
Absolutely not.
Let's hide a few of these things. We don't need to see these things.
We've got a bomb. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know what it was.
How are you, Emma? Thanks for coming on.
I'm all right. It's been a big week.
It's been a big week.
Did you notice? Yeah.
You've made some progress?
Nah, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, sort of.
Yep. Yeah. Well, sometimes that happens.
I'm just persuading Dan to come on, because Dan's pretty good.
Well, he did say.
He did say, yeah, simple as that. And we have been talking about it on Messenger for the last few minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's doing.
Here's Joanne. G'day, Joanne. All our friends from the United States are coming in. We've got D-Rock up in New York and Joanne, I think. Joanne, you in Colorado or somewhere else? I just forget.
Anyway, he might be coming.
Oh, yeah. It's all right.
I was at your place today.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great. You happy with what you got?
They're fantastic. They're really good.
Do you got it handy? Do you want to show the people what you got?
Yeah, hang on. Show the people. Show the folks.
Thanks, Joanne, for being here, and everyone else. I do appreciate it. We've just clicked over the 1 hour mark, and Emma and I will talk a little bit here.
Where's Fridge? Anyway.
The ISS, I don't know where the... Oh, for far out. Go jam that right up your tailpipe. Oh, look, seriously, you get over it real quick, because you get
You
every
live in
man
that
and his
suburb.
dog, especially we got a little intersection there, and they get around the intersection, and there's a couple of slow down points there, which some people don't see, and they hit pretty fast. But then you get the others that get around, and then they, put their foot down, and they got the big loud tailpipe, and it's like, righto. Hang on, Dan. Oh, there you are. Righto. Right, hang on. Here we go.
Oh,
Guess
excellent.
what?
Oh, well, that
Here's
goes with the
Dan.
cameras.
Hey, Dan.
Holy crap, he's had a haircut and all.
Nice to finally meet you in person. Well,
how you doing?
yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad.
What's
Right,
the-
everyone. This is
the,
Dan. Dan has a nice little place, and Emma has her steamroller at Dan's shed. Correct?
Yes,
Yep.
pretty much.
Cool.
Along with
It's
the-
actually in Dan's shed, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And you guys, okay, so give everyone the rundown. You guys run a little group called Shannondale Steam Shed. Is that right?
Shannondale Steam Shed, yeah.
Yep.
Have a
And
It's
Facebook
sort of
page.
like a unofficial sort of club. We're actually all members of the New South Wales
Road Steam
Road
Association.
Steam Association. That's right, which is an NHMA affiliated club.
Yep.
And yeah, we all just kind of get together every now and again and do a few bits and pieces and try to take some of our stuff out on the road and to shows, and got a big year planned next year. So
Yeah,
we
two
normally
shows
do,
next year. 2 shows.
yeah, at least two.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, we've got we normally do Glenray Timber Festival. I think they've done 3 years in a row now.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
becoming quite a good event.
Yeah. The first year, the only steam engine there was my little Britannia. And yeah, every year since then, it's been bigger in some way. So yeah. But yeah, National Rally at John Dairy and Woolshed. That's
Yep.
going to be a big one.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
Bill-
what was a week after or 2 weeks after Glenray?
Something
like
like
that.
I
that.
think it's something like that. It might be. Yeah, I think it's 2. It could be 3. I was just looking at the date now.
Yeah. I could. Bill, I was talking to Bill this afternoon actually, and he asked me if I was going to have my engine ready if the roller.
Yeah. So what's the answer there?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
Hmm.
It'd be nice. But,
You can't rush these things. That's the problem. It's you're probably only going to get the opportunity once in your lifetime to restore something like that. So, do it
properly.
do it
Don't mess
properly.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know another engine that was kind of rushed to the finish, and although it's all together and it all works well, there's little hiccups along the way where there's been evidence that there's stuff that probably wasn't done to the same level that like you do in yours, and sooner or later, if you plan on using the thing a fair bit, you're going to have to address that at some point.
Yeah.
Only the weekend we were looking at the feed pump on the roller.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to Emma, since she's owned it, it's done more work than it has in God knows how many years.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done quite a few Ks just road running it over the last couple of years, and it really sort of brings out any little things that aren't perfect in it. You're going to pick up on once you start using it that often.
Yeah.
So, yeah, doing it right is the key.
Yeah. At least make all the bolts the same.
Yeah. And get the knots on the correct way. No,
well, that's debatable, but yeah.
Did you notice on that the Marshall portable crank out the back there, the eccentric straps, they've got them run the correct way. Did you see that?
What do you call the correct way?
The correct way. There's only one way.
No, I didn't look. That might be a Marshall thing. They did some weird stuff.
Yeah, they did it right. Yeah.
So all the others did it wrong, eh?
Yeah.
No, there were some companies that did it right, and some did it wrong. Yeah.
Mm.
But that's the great thing I find about the journey into this sort of situation is that you find over the you got to remember that where these things have been handed down or used and then just left to go, and everybody's had a go at them at some stage, and sooner or later it gets to someone like yourself or Emma who realizes that something's not right here and we got to fix it up. And it can be a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is.
It irritates me have to get 4 spanners out to undo 4 bolts.
Yeah.
Because none of them are quite the same. But it's a big job to make all new bolts. Nuts.
Yeah. Stephen Parrender's in the chat. He's got a Davy Paxson portable, and they're hoping to have that at the National Rally too. It'll be good to have that there.
He's got
a bit of a unique engine with Davy Paxson. You don't see a dozen of them restored much these days. Yeah, it's. I still find it fascinating that like when this stuff was made, the people who built it and the people who ran these things day in day out, they never would have dreamed that 100 years plus down the track that there'd be idiots like us.
Yeah,
shit. They really never thought that anyone would care.
Well,
we are spending copious amounts of time and money.
Yeah, well, they probably would have thought that why would you bother?
Yeah.
It's not worth your time,
Probably much the same as I kind of think that I don't think in 100 years' time there's going to be many restored Teslas getting around, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
it could be wrong. There's people who collect Land Rovers, and that's a bit weird,
God.
Yeah, look at that. What about?
We got to go there.
Speaking
of
Land,
only got one.
Yeah.
I'm not
Speaking
really.
about Land Rovers, did you see that video where they tracked down number 1 and on a farm I think it was in Wales or UK, somewhere in Europe, and they actually restored it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so it's not actually number 1 anymore because there wouldn't have been anything left except rust.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll find that video and send it to you guys because I'm not a Land Rover person, but I found the process that they went through real interesting. And it's like you and I would probably look at it and go, yeah, it's too far gone, can't do anything with it. But not these guys. They tracked it back and got the actual like they found the registration, the serial number, and they brought it off the farmer where it was sitting outside, like my steamroller sat outside. Well, I'm pretty sure it worked outside all of its life, and then it sat in the park for 50 years after it was finished. This Land Rover sat out in the weather for another at least 30 or 40 years, something crazy like that. I'll have to find the video and share it with you. I'll put it on. I'll send it to you in Messenger or something. Really interesting
Tires
video.
might have still been all right.
Yeah, but it's one of those videos that was really well done, and the story behind it was quite incredible, and the lengths they went to get this thing back up and running again. It was just crazy.
Nothing,
pretty much
nothing
that
beyond
describes most.
Yeah, if you want to spend enough time and money, there's nothing out there that's really beyond help. It's just
that's right.
Dedication you're going to have to it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I know several steam locomotives. Like, for those who don't know, that is kind of my background is rail-related steam. But I know several steam locomotives that were built from just literally less than half the original parts just to complete wrecks. And, yeah, a huge amount of time, a huge amount of money, a huge amount of skill. But today it's a working locomotive. Yeah, anything can be done if you really want it that much. If you've got that much money and that much time. Yeah.
What I've found with this project so far, it's not so much the money, it's just the time. It's more my time than anything else.
You're right.
I've been fortunate enough, Dan Elstone down in Melbourne, he has 16933, and which virtually the sister engine to this one, 16930. So we've been working together for a long time now, and he has been a big help. I've been a big help to him. He's been a big help to me. And it's just great that having someone, he's far away, but this thing here, modern technology, social media, it's been terrific. I've got in contact with people in the UK. That's why I started the Facebook page in the first place, was to find out as much as I could. And I've connected with quite a few people, in the UK with the same T3 roller, a bit older than mine, a bit younger than mine, that sort of thing. And even a guy in South Africa reached out to me, and I helped him out with a bit of stuff. I haven't heard from him in a long time, but I don't know whether he's still with us or what. But it's just amazing the reach that, how far things have gone.
I was talking to, I've got a neighbour who's a bit of an older generation, let's say, and he's been trying to get onto this newfangled Facebook stuff. Yep. And anyway, he was a bit negative on the whole thing. And I said to him, well, keep in mind that it's a hell of a tool for connecting with people with similar interests.
Yep. And
it gives you a global audience. You look at all the STEAM groups that are on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really, really good ones out there where you'll see a lot of information, a lot of literature, a lot of, in some cases, a lot of knowledge out there being shared that would be extremely difficult to otherwise share to such a broad audience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a really good tool for interests, hobby items. The
other thing is too, we can, we're not always going to agree on something, that's for sure. And we can say, well, look, this is what I found, or we can disagree and say, look, I don't agree with that, for whatever reasons. And don't have to just wait for old mate there. But you're absolutely right. The social media platforms there's always a bad side to something, but generally speaking, I've found a really good side. I've connected with people, and it's just fantastic. Like in our chat tonight, we've got people from America, one or two from over in the UK, the rest of the guys in here, guys and girls. Joanne, she's in America. The other guys in the chat here, like Bill, he's down south in Tassie. We've got Peter up in Cairns and all around the rest of the place. So, we're connecting with people that we've never, ever connected with before, and we're learning about each other, our different hobbies and things like that,
Bill's got it right there. Social media can be like the pub. Most of them are okay, but they'll always be dickheads. Legit. You just got to take the good with the bad and move on.
The difference is you go to the pub, Bill stays home. And
I go to the pub. Yeah, anyway, we won't go there.
Fridge doesn't go to the pub. That's what I mean. Dan doesn't go to the pub.
Nah, it's pretty rare, actually.
It's just
from London.
No, it's a bit of an in-house joke. This guy here, Funk and Hungry, he's down in Adelaide. He does food reviews. But this guy here, Lee from First Floor Audio, he's from Southampton. But these guys joke that he's from London because when you
Right.
say you're from the UK, everybody goes, "Oh, you must live in London." So it's just a bit of an in joke. So, but yeah, First Floor Audio does music. He does live shows 3 days a week. You can find him on YouTube if you're into that sort of thing. He writes his own music, does his own stuff, does a bit of singing and dance. Oh, he doesn't do dancing, but he just does a bit of singing. So something completely different. And I've met some of these other people through his channel. Every so often he comes on, time difference and all that sort of thing. So, yeah. So it's just good. And
Do
this
you
is,
come to national rally, like whether your engine's ready or not?
yeah, I plan to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You've been enlisted to look after a roller for a couple of days if you haven't got a engine there.
Yeah, you guys are going.
Yeah. We're just
Probably.
No, we're going. We're just trying to figure out how.
That's where we're at. We're just figuring out how.
We've sort of. I've never actually met Billy Ives in person. I've chatted to him on Facebook, and I keep saying I'll have to come up and say good day. But I mean, I'm not busy between work and doing this shit. It's and also volunteering with SDSR up at Warwick.
Yep.
I don't get a hell of a lot of free time, but I will catch up with Billy Ives in person one day.
Yeah.
But I did sort of say when he was first asking for expressions of interest, because he had previously inquired about me bringing the Britannia up to Petrie.
Yep.
Those who don't know, the Britannia I've got was Reggie Schuster's, which is a pretty well-known engine. So, so anyway, I spoke to Billy Ives briefly. And he says, I'll got you sort of down there. We'll just have to figure out sort of transport-wise how we're doing it. So we're hoping we can get one big truck and get the roller and the Britannia on that up there. It should be good. We're looking forward to it. It's pretty close to Glenray, so it might work in our favour. We might even be able to take it straight from Glenray up there, and maybe that's the way to do it. But it's going to be a busy year.
I mean, when something like this is organised, you got to just do what you can. It's great. These guys are, volunteers like us, and they're doing it in their spare time and having meetings and taking time through their work to organise all this. So not everything's going to go to plan as much as what we'd like, but we can only hope for the best. And, if that's what happens, then that's the problem with Australia, is that when we organise, if something like this gets organised, it's a big effort to get a bunch of equipment in one place. Not like, say, the UK, where everything's so close together, whereas, they go for a pub run and they'll almost get, a dozen engines without blinking an eyelid, sort of thing.
I can vouch for that. I mean, I do a lot of the organisation stuff for the steam side of things for Glenray, and I know how much work's involved just in the small scale we have there, like 5 engines or something. Last year we had a sawmill there, and it was a really good year. But the work that goes into just that is incredible. Like, I'd hate to be in Billy Ives' shoes, because I reckon he'd really have his hands full. That was so.
And yourself, even it doesn't take much for something to go wrong to throw a heap of things out of whack. And,
for sure.
When you scale up an event like this, or what's coming up, or what's it doesn't take much for something to go wrong. It could be weather, it could be transport related, it could be something else that we don't even think about. And you know,
Yeah.
let's just hope it, you know, it goes ahead. Well,
Yeah.
it's going to go ahead regardless in some way.
Yeah.
But even if there's, you know, it'd be nice to get a bunch of engines there, but
Mm.
we only get a handful. Well, then that's what we have to be thankful for.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, we're pretty excited. I think the Thursday, Friday. I think a lot of that's road runs and stuff in the local area.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. So there'll be plenty
we
to
just
do.
got to come up with $7,000 to get 2 engines there and back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
maybe we'll see. Hopefully, you know, the stars align and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, well, that's right. It won't be the end of the world if we don't. I guess we'll go, but
Mm.
All we
And-
can do, all we can do is support it and just try and be there as much as possible.
I mean, from what Billy said to me, it's I think he used words like you know, the biggest steam event Australia has seen yet, sort of thing, or words to that effect. And yeah,
Well, probably put it this way: it'd be the biggest steam event outside of Maitland.
yeah. Every year I keep saying I'm going to go to Maitland, and I nearly did this year, and just things get in the way. But it's pretty close to Glenray, and you know, a
We're
fair
all
bit of
exhausted.
involvement in trying to organise that too. So yeah, it's makes it hard. Yeah. Have you been in a Maitland?
No, we had plans, but then I decided to well, not really decided. I broke my ankle.
It's not really a conscious decision, is it?
So that was over 2 years ago. So
yeah.
Then we thought, oh yeah, we'll build some sheds. We'll have a bigger shed, and we'll have. Then there's that one behind us, and we'll build 2 sheds at the same time. Yay!
Yeah.
Not a good idea. Anyway,
Tell me about it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I had plans, but haven't got there. But maybe next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see how I'm going next year. But it's one of the things on the list of things I'd like to do, and get there eventually.
Can't do everything, only do something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I tell you what we'll do. I think we'll wrap it up at that. We've been prattling on long enough. I appreciate you guys coming in here and joining in and having a chat. And just stay there, and I'll say a thank you to everyone in our chatters and everyone else viewing. Thanks for being here tonight, and we'll go out with our regular little countdown here. And if you've got AirPods in or you're sensitive to noise, you might want to turn the volume down. But thanks, everyone. See you next Tuesday. Catch you around. Bye for now.
See you.
Whistle.